Hello everyone, welcome to another video. Today we will be looking at Immortal expertise breakdown. Specialization tank, I have extensively tested them firsthand and I want to show you guys some results and my conclusion after testing all of them. And also I will be recommending and ranking down which one is the better one among the three specializations. So before we go further into this video, let's take a look at the skill description. So Iron will increase your resilience rate by 7.5% and reduce damage by 7.5% as well after entering the battle. And it will just scale up to 25% max, which in my opinion is very good. And the next one is the fighting spirit, precision strike, increase your accuracy rate by 6% and damage dealt by 15% after entering the battle. In my opinion, very specific Immortal can use this skill, and those two are Anubis and Richard. That's my opinion because they are the only one that benefit from this skill. And of course the last one, Fortress Sturdy Barrier. Every 6 seconds after the battle starts, there is a 70% chance to grant a shield to all allies, absorbing all incoming damage, which absorb rate 54% at level 1 for 6 seconds. So you can go up to 180%. So yeah, now that we know the skill description or specialization description, we will go to the reports and the testing of the specializations. Now let's take a look at my march in a double tank setup with Yi Sun-shin and Charles. For Yi Sun-shin, the reason why I picked the Iron Will is because I want to sustain him more in the battle, and the other factors is that guard, when you transferring all damage you receive to this unit, to Yi Sun-shin from Charles, you kind of want him to sustain a little bit more, and for me, guard just makes sense. And I got it to level 5, which reduce damage taken by 17.5% and also increases resilience rate by 17.5%. And I will show you guys report after, and it's gonna be, it will show the reason why you kind of need the Iron Will on Yi Sun-shin. As for Charles, Charles has a pretty good artifact with guard and physical defense bonus, and I think there's no point to pick Iron Will here as well. So I picked Fortress, the shielding. The shielding is 54% at level 1. It doesn't show here because it's probably bugged, but it's 54%, and I think for me, in my viewpoint, it makes sense for him to get shielding. One of the reason why is because of his ultimate. He's probably going to shield a lot from his ultimate, and if you add shield upon shield, I think that can work better than putting on Yi Sun-shin and then you take away the damage reduction, which I think will make him, a little bit weaker, can sustain way less, and you probably have to remove guard as well in this situation if you didn't have the Iron Will specialization. So that being said, let's go take a look at Arena. In Arena here, you can see Alex is doing some damage against Charles, but not much. And you can see the Study Barrier, the shield specialization, is doing some work. In 29 seconds, it's doing 1.4 million shielding, and then he managed to shield 12 times, which is 3 times. It should be 3 times, yes, 3 times. So it's pretty good in my opinion, but it works for very specific Immortal. Also, that's how I see it. And let's take a look at some of the stronger marches, like this one, the one I lost. So you can see here the barrier, Study Barrier is pretty good. not too bad at all. But if you compare it with the other shields like Energy Shield, Terra Shield, of course, you are not going to be competing against them, especially not now. But maybe when you get the shielding to level 5, level 6, and above, I think that's when your Steady Barrier gonna shine a little bit more. And you can see here, as for Shin, the damage reduction, although he takes 17 million damage from Poseidon, I think he still managed to get, less damage taken than Charles, which in my opinion, that's the whole goal with the Iron Will. So let's take a look at some of the other reports here. I forgot to put skills on Charles, but let's take a look at the reports. Right here, the Study Barrier is doing some good work here, and you can see Shin is taking less damage than Charles. Let's take a look at this one, or this one is better. So you can see the shielding is very good, and I really like this one because it actually shows that the Steady Barrier hit 11 times, which is pretty good in 2 minutes. And keep in mind that it takes I think it was 9 seconds to proc one time. So this is pretty good. You probably proccing every single, each time it can proc. So in my opinion, it seems to be working well. As for Shin, I think this is very good, very good damage reduction in terms of it taking the same almost the same damage as Charles with the guard here as well. So I would say it worked out pretty well. Keep in mind, these are not the skills that I use for my main mod. So yeah, let's take a look at this one. I think this one was the first one that I got. Specialization. So you can see here as well, Steady Barriers do some damage, Energy Shield, Vitality Touch. So I really like this setup a lot, but a lot of the times I would say people will probably run something like, let's take a look at Jam like this, where you have one tank to your team, and then you have one attacker, one support, or even 2 supports. This will work, but in my opinion, depends on your artifact. Here he has obviously a very good artifact. I would still run the Iron Will on him because he has guard. Since he's being soul tank, I think Iron Will is going to benefit him way more. But I see a lot of people are trying with the Fortress skill, which in my opinion is a fair skill to try out but keep in mind though, I think it will be better if you guys would actually wait until level 5, 4 or 5 before using this skill on permanent, because that's when you're going to see a lot of good results from the Fortress specialization. But before that, I think the Iron will benefit your tank the most. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the double tank mod and the single tank mod that I've tested so far. I haven't tested the second specialization with is Fighting Spirit and Precision Strike here, solely because I think it will only benefit Anubis and Richard. Other than that, I don't think it really helps out in any other tanks you have on your team or in the game, for a matter of fact. So yeah, if I were going to rank like each specialization after each other. Like I would definitely go for Iron Will number 1, Fortress number 2, and Fighting Spirit number 3. But keep in mind, it might change once you reach level 5 or level 6. I think Fortress gonna be very good for your team then. But keep in mind, this is double tanked, right? But if you are still like a single tank user, I think Iron Will won't disappoint you at all. It's gonna be very good for you. But if you run in double tank, I would definitely recommend you guys to run like Iron Will and Fortress together. I think that would be very OP in the future. So when I get to max out, I'm probably gonna make it a video about this. So keep an eye on that. So yeah, that's it for this tank specialization breakdown video. I hope I managed to show you guys some testing. I hope I showed you guys everything you need to know so you can decide yourself which one you're gonna take. And with my recommendations in this video, hope you guys having a nice day.